Hello and welcome again to Immigration News and Views. My name is David Nachman. I'm one of the managing attorneys at the NPZ Law Group, Nachman, Polwani, Zimochek Law Group, with offices located in Ridgewood, New Jersey. We also have an office in Midtown Manhattan, and we also have affiliated offices in Canada for the convenience of our clients, and also in Mumbai, India. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the religious worker visa that I haven't had an opportunity to discuss in some of our earlier videos. So our organization, our law firm, represents numerous religious organizations, not-for-profit religious organizations throughout the United States and throughout the world. And what we want to do is bring to your attention that there are opportunities for individuals who work for religious organizations to come to the United States as temporary workers, but also to transfer that temporary work visa into lawful permanent residence or a green card. Now, one of the things I do want to bring to your attention is that the religious worker visa has an interesting history. It was implemented back in 1991 under what's called IMACT 90. And it seems that at that time Congress became spiritually enlightened and were good enough to pass the religious worker visa. So it's referred to as the R visa. But there are various subcategories within the R visa. There's R1, and I guess we'll refer for the sake of brevity to the three categories of religious worker visas as R1A, R1B, and R1C. R1As are for rabbis, priests, and ministers. These are individuals who are ordained in their religious function and who serve their not-for-profit religious organization as rabbis, priests, or ministers. R1Bs are for individuals who are professional religious workers. What is a professional religious worker? Well, a professional religious worker is an individual who has a baccalaureate degree who is serving in a professional level position at a not-for-profit religious institution. So, for example, an individual is coming to the United States to work as an assistant pastor. Perhaps it's going to be a Sunday school teacher. Perhaps it's going to be a youth group leader. These are individuals who are, again, professional religious workers. Finally, R1Cs are individuals who are performing a traditional religious function. So this is sort of the catch-all provision that allows individuals who are serving not-for-profit religious organizations in traditional religious functions. These could be individuals who are fundraisers, they could be monks, they could be individuals who are going out and trying to help to gain individuals to come into those certain types of religions. So these are the various types of non-immigrant religious workers. Now, in order to become a non-immigrant religious worker, how does it work? Well, what we do is we make an application on an I-129 with an R visa rider, and we make that application on behalf of the not-for-profit religious organization in the United States. And what do we have to prove? We need to prove that the individual has been a member of that denomination, and that is a defined term, denomination, for 2 full years before entering the United States as a non-immigrant to work for this not-for-profit religious organization. Now, the not-for-profit religious organization has to demonstrate under the U.S. tax code that it has been deemed a not-for-profit. So what you need to do is you need to show proof of 501c3 exemption. 501c3 is the subsection within the Internal Revenue Code that deals with not-for-profit religious organizations. The most important thing with regard to religious workers is that the government, once you file that case, is going to do a site visit. The FDNS, Fraud Detection and National Security Division, subdivision within the USCIS, is going to queue up the not-for-profit religious organization for an interview or for a site visit. Now, we've seen site visits take place in one of two ways. Either number one, they'll actually call an authorized representative of that religious organization to come to the USCIS office and to sit down with an FDNS officer and answer questions. But what's more common is what's called a site visit, where the FDNS officer actually goes out and makes sure that the not-for-profit religious organization is in fact bona fide, such that it has a physical location, and they also will probably ask an authorized representative at the time of the site visit how many people are in the congregation, and also what types of events are being run by the congregation and things of this sort. So you can definitely prepare appropriately for a site visit from FDNS for a not-for-profit religious organization. And of course, if you need any guidance at all with regard to preparing for that, we're more than happy to assist you. Now, after an individual has been working for 2 full years as a non-immigrant for that not-for-profit religious organization, the case was approved. The visa was sent to the U.S. consulate abroad. The individual goes into the U.S. consulate, prepares a DS-160, makes their application, enters the United States, and commences work for that not-for-profit religious organization. After 2 full years of work for the not-for-profit religious organization, they qualify to file for EB-4. That's an employment-based fourth preference special immigrant petition as a religious worker. Now, in order to do the EB-4 religious worker case, it's also broken down into the same types of classifications. You have an EB-4 for ministers, priests, and rabbis. You have an EB-4 for professional religious workers. And you have an EB-4, of course, for traditional religious functions. And that application for the green card for the religious worker is done on an I-360 form with appropriate supporting documentation. Once that filing has been made, you await for the I-360 to be approved, and then the individual can file for adjustment of status. So that's the way religious workers in the United States are able to get green cards. And I know I went through that kind of quickly, but it's very difficult to spend a tremendous amount of time